Welcome back, everyone, to 2017 Blade and Soul World Championships. Still on the quarterfinal. We're on the later parts of it, definitely, and trying to close out a few matches to decide who our 4 teams in the semifinals will be. One of the team definitely has been confirmed to be GC Busan Red, to be the first team going on to semifinal. But we're going to find out the next team that is going to go up.
Yep, and for our second match and the last match of this second portion, we have GC Busan Blue from Korea and Sky from China.
Both teams have been very, very impressive. GC Busan Blue, we already knew of what kind of skill level they were going to bring, but seeing Sky for the first time in this World 2017 just today, not really having to see them in all 3 days of group stages because they have already made it to the quarterfinals as the #1 seed from China. Seeing them for that one series today was, for me at least, a total shock, and I really didn't expect that much power level coming from that team.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, they came out confident with that Soul Fighter, and it was the first showing of a Soul Fighter in this Worlds. And, you know, that was a very good introduction of the Soul Fighter on Sky side. And let's see if they are able to pull off the same gig, or, you know, if GC Busan Blue is maybe prepared for a combo like that, and maybe they'll be able to better defend against that kind of air combo.
Well, we have to find out, because finally, after the introduction of the Soul Fighter, we finally have all classes being played in this World 2017, except the Gunslinger. Of course, it is not available at this moment. Might be available for the next year, for 2018, I would presume. But there's no confirmation on that. We have no right to say anything that NCSoft has not announced themselves. So,
but I'm hoping
speculating.
The Gunslinger, but as well as the Hongmon ults now by next year.
Lovely.
Yeah, by next year.
Blade Dancer ultimates are amazing to watch. When you hit the full stacks, the field on that one, it is amazing, and hopefully we get to see the added excitement in addition to the already exciting 2017 World Championships. We hope to so much better Blade and Soul will continue to develop once we do hit the tournament once again next year.
Yeah, but for our next matchup, GC Busan Blue, we've seen them a lot during the Korea seasons. They did win out Season 1 and 2 back-to-back and placed second in Korea finals. But, you know, Sky, like Joe mentioned, it was the first time seeing them in the Worlds, and they've definitely impressed me. I don't know about you guys, but personally, I was very impressed of how much they prepared for combos, and, you know, especially Jaifu Chen, because, to be honest, I remember him from last year playing so good, but it just seems like he got better. And last year, he only played the Blade Dancer, but this time around, he definitely practiced on the Warlock, and amazing.
And what surprised me more about Sean Jaifu is that not just his individual mechanics of what he did with the blade, nor we could talk about the Warlock as well, but it was more about his intelligence, really knowing what decisions to go with, especially for his teammates during the tag. Felt like definitely what you were mentioning while we were chatting right after the game had ended. We discussed about why that was so strong, is that Sean Jaifu, it seemed like he was the one calling out the shots. And definitely during the tag, when you saw the Warlock put him in the air and Soul Fighter coming in, as soon as you saw that, putting so much damage onto his opponent, it worked 2 times, and that led to literally a 2 KO in this very important Game 3 they faced in the best of 4. So, you know, the game intelligence and really the leadership that Sean Jaifu showed within his team showed a very strong step forward for this team, so we can see them go very, very far in this tournament.
Yeah, and, you know, you mentioned about the KO with Jaifu Chen's Warlock and the Soul Fighter, but, you know, it wasn't really a KO. It wasn't a knockout. It was basically a deletion of the characters. Like, they literally just got deleted, and, you know, they didn't even show, you know, the dead body on the screen. They just disappeared, and the next guy comes up to get get deleted once again. But yeah, I know what you're saying. The combo is awesome, and it worked out very well. But now, if that works out against GC Busan Blue, that'll be very surprising. But I just have a feeling that GC Busan Blue has prepared for this.
I know they would have, but I'm telling you, if Sky can pull that off against GC Busan Blue, my ratings of that team goes skyrocket, because I consider GC Busan Blue as one of the strongest teams in this tournament. I don't know many other people might, but just their stability and the way they are not shaken by any situation that is thrown at them really just comes to me as a very, very strong team that GC Busan Blue represents. And GC Busan Red, Coup d'etat, those teams are more flashy and they're more explosive at times, but it just seemed like GC Busan Blue, the results really show.
Oh,
Season 1 champions, Season 2 champions, and back to the Korean final, they got second place only next to GC Busan Red just because of that few losses near the end of that series. But all in all, I just think that consistency and that stability that really brings from GC Busan Blue, I just rate them a highly rated team. So if Sky can do whatever they want to do against GC Busan Blue, I definitely have to rate them very, very high.
Oh yeah, definitely. And finally, we get to see the players setting up in the booth. Now on screen, we have GC Busan Blue. We have Yoon Jae-jung, Yoon Tae-son, and Dae-young Choi.
Now, we usually like to compliment Dae-young Choi for what he represents for this team.
Yeah.
But the problem has been, it seems like the other two players have kind of outshone him in times, and Dae-young Choi really needs to be that guy that really is the main character of this team, and for his other two teammates to support him to make him look better. But it just seemed like in the recent times that we've seen GC Busan Blue, it was more about Dae-young Choi just doing the average performance for what we expect him, and the other two players doing good enough to carry his team into his victory. But it should be more about Dae-young Choi now, because that's kind of the role that brings a lot of success over to GC Busan Blue when Dae-young Choi is the main character, when he's dealing out the most damage. And I think that's when the GC Busan finds the most success.
Yeah, and I'm also curious if Yoon Jae-jung is ever going to bring out the Summoner again, because, you know, last time he brought up the Summoner, he ended up losing because, you know, I don't know, I think that he's been practicing the Warlock a lot more, but now on screen we have Sky.
And you hear a lot of cheers from the crowd, and predominantly Korean as the audience is. There's a lot of cheers coming for this Chinese side. Very popular for the people that have experienced these guys before in the previous World Championships. You see Soo Sa-jun. This guy's the soul fighter that we've been talking about. He's only made one appearance, and the only appearance that really was needed to finish the team off, and played that soul fighter wonderfully due to the Shen Zhaifu. Mostly plays the Blade Dancer, but brought that Warlock in Game 3 and showed what he can do. We just really saw the combination between those two players really working out to perfection. And just showed a perfectionist result from that last series.
And you know, like you said, Zhaifu Chen and Xu Shen-shu with the Soul Fighter and Warlock, they've shown us a lot, but Hyo-sung on the Blade Master, when he came out, oh, there we go, he is coming out again. But he hasn't performed too well, to be honest. I was pretty disappointed in the way he lost his singles. So let's see if he can redeem himself against Yoon Jae-jung's Warlock.
It will be Hyo-sung on that Blade Master against Yoon Jae-jung. So on that Warlock for the side of GC Busan Blue. It's going to be a chance for GC Busan Blue to get a clear-cut lead in this best of 7, but Hyo-sung and the rest of Sky have other things in mind. They have no intentions of losing to GC Busan Blue. Whether we can see each team making their statements count, we're going to find out in this Game 1 between GC Busan Blue and Sky. Let's get it going. Just relish over those cheers coming in from the crowds. Wonderful to hear them. Yoon Jae-jung getting a lot of fans just by being in this GC Busan organization. There's a lot of base fans all around Korea cheering for him. But it's going to be Hyo-sung really not caring about anything. I mean, here the male version of Hobas. The male version of Hobas is a very masculine coming from Yoon Jae-jung there.
Such a small character too. But anyways, yeah, Flocka Blades is used, but he still has his second wind.
Hyo-sung needs to be careful. He does use the second wind to get out of there, but chases right after Yoon Jae-jung. And Yoon Jae-jung really knows what to do and expects that a second wind have to be used, so
gets pulled in. Second wind is used by Yoon Jae-jung.
Okay, now it's going to be Hyo-sung. Maybe going on the counter here. Yoon Jae-jung does put out the paper in front of his face, negating any attack Hyo-sung is trying to bring onto him.
Alright, pretty slow right now. Hyo-sung has 7 more seconds until he gets his escape, but he is shackled, back steps out.
Shackled, but does back steps out as you mentioned. Hyo-sung really trying to get in range.
Aerial!
Get some damage done. Here he goes on the second aerial. The Lunar Slash.
Alright.
The Flash Step. It's going to be a lot of damage going to Yoon Jae-jung. It's pretty close in terms of health. Going towards both sides. See the familiar trying to bother him. Yoon Jae-jung for an opportunity to go in aggressively, but there he goes to the air.
they're trading, they're bouncing back and forth.
Really are, and really don't know the true output of damage. Mostly, but now we say that the song is getting more of that damage, but Yujang might be looking for aerial here.
Yep. He approaches. Familiar is spawned once again, and he is stunned.
Okay.
Second wind is used by Hassan.
But still shackled up, so
Oh, this is not looking good
this
now.
is the
No
airborne,
more escape.
no more escapes, like you say. Block of blades and second wind both on 25-second cooldown. Yujang gets his escapes back with the time distortion. Still, Husong has seemed like he has done more damage to Yujang.
But he has healed up a lot, and the back row into the leech.
Okay, this
this
might be the
is not
difference maker.
looking good now.
Husong, he has to get out of it, but there's no way to do that when you're damaged up like that. Just poke, come on, one more time.
With the rupture.
And Yujang casually finishes him off, and seemed like it was going Hasong's way for the first few minutes of that match, but definitely you see him disappointed how he couldn't finish him off, and Yujang seems relieved on the other end, getting that win and getting the 1-0 lead now towards GC BUSAN Blue.
Yeah, it was pretty close. It didn't seem like Yujang was having an easy time at all. He was, you know, using his time distortion to get his second wins back, and you know, Hassan was definitely pushing Yujang to the corner until the mid-late game where, you know, that leech landed, and you know, when you don't have an escape with a Warlock leech landing on you, you are basically done. Even if it does go down to the TKO, as a Blade Master, you won't out-damage a Warlock.
Yujang, you saw him after the game. He seemed very relieved that those stuns did connect, because if it didn't, might have taken the punishment by taking the damage from Hassan. In the end, it did connect and really led to enough damage to finish him off and get that 1-point lead. Over to GC BUSAN Blue now. We're going to go into the second match to see who's going to make the appearance here. Let's see a little bit of Shen Jaifu, to be honest.
It seems like Jaifu Chen is getting ready, because
Okay.
both of his teammates are actually staring towards his computer.
Hey, that does indicate good enough evidence that it will be Shan Zaifu, as going to be confirmed on the screens here. There we go, we're going to be Shan Zaifu versus Daeyoung Choi. So the team leaders, the team damage output leaders is what they're trying to go for here. Shan Zaifu, you wouldn't believe that he's a damage output dealer with a Blade Dancer. By the performance we saw in the last game, you know, he's completely capable of doing that, putting out as much damage as possibly what Daeyoung Choi can do on the Assassin. So the two main guys for the teams can be up to face game 2.
Yep, and Jaifu Chen on the Blade Dancer. Last time around, he had a very easy time defeating his opponent's Warlock, but this time around, it's Daeyoung Choi's Assassin. And, you know, Daeyoung Choi, as we've seen, is an amazing assassin. Let's see what Jaifu Chen can do to Daeyoung Choi. Let's get this second set underway. Just get it on.
We hear the cheers
Yep.
as we begin the second match between GC BUSAN Blue and Sky. Now Sky, from China, they are the only remaining team from the region, with 2 other teams have already been eliminated. So
Look at Jaifu Chen. He is so aggressive, forcing all of these stealths out early on.
not even using the lightning draw, even gets him into another aerial?
Yep, a re-knockup.
Wow!
Another
He's trying to do it again.
Back roll.
Oh,
there was no
Lotus
chase.
escape, yeah. Like, just observe the fact that Daeyoung Choi has no stealth available. Does get it back in 10 seconds, but Lotus escape is the only option here. As you mentioned, Shan Jaifu, we haven't seen Daeyoung Choi toyed around like this the early parts of the game, as we just seen. Goes for the counterattack here. Daeyoung Choi trying to put the damage onto it, gets him onto the in-air webbing.
Yep, he is trying to punish him. There we go with the poison breath, with the body swap. High wire core. Now Daeyoung Choi gets pulled. Oh, Daeyoung Choi pulls him in this time around and uses Lotus escape to widen the gap.
Now Shafu is going to be healing back up with his skill, but knowing that
Pulls him in. Back roll chase.
he has to go for the kill
into
now.
Phantom grip.
Phantom grip is up. Still does a stealth.
There we
Yeah. So stealth has been procced by Daeyoung Choi to get out of that danger zone.
Jaifu Chen, no. Oh, that dink right there!
Another stun, and this might be it.
We heard the dink!
There we go. The second aerial will be enough to finish him up. Doesn't even need to go in the air, and that is enough damage for Shan Jaifu. Beat out the almighty Daeun Choi, and look at Daeun Choi. He looks very, very surprised.
Yeah, but it seems like, you know, he is surprised, but he is accepting the fact that, you know, Jaifu Chen has defeated him and taken that victory.
I mean, I think Shan Jaifu is slowly starting to become my favorite player in this tournament. Such dynamism, he really showing with that Blade Dancer. And if you've been watching me in the QuarterFinal, you know I'm a big fan of Blade Dancer, especially when that ultimate is available. But even without that, so exciting to watch when such stellar players have control over this character. But Shan Jaifu, he's really impressed in the earlier series, doing it again, beating out the very formidable Daeun Choi in the singles.
Slowly, I love the way he plays. Like, up to the mid game, he slowly shaves down on your health bar, and you know, that one chance that he knows that he can just finish, he just goes all out.
So sleek, his movements, the way he moves around the field and tricks his opponents. Not really being able to be predictable in terms of your opponent, trying to think of the next step. Shan Jaifu, definitely a superstar, emerging. If he hasn't already in the previous World Championships, he's definitely doing a lot better than what is needed to get the win right here for the side of Sky. But GC Busan Blue, being a strong team themselves, really need to pick it back up and go to Game 3 very soon. So, tag match will give us a better indication as to which team is ready to take the win in the series here.
And of course, Jaifu Chen does change back into the Warlock 4 tag, so we will have that Soul Fighter, Warlock, and Blade Master composition. Same goes for GC Busan Blue. We have a Destroyer Warlock and an Assassin, so it's a little different, but you know, we have seen both of these teams perform with this composition, so we'll see how it works out against each other.
Now, in the previous series that Sky has shown with this composition, the song didn't even need to do anything. Just needed to watch on the sideline as his other two teammates were literally annihilating their opponents one by one. So his song will he need to make a contribution? That's the first question. And whether that contribution will be beneficial for his team, we're going to be finding out very, very soon.
And I would love to see really how GC Busan Blue is going to, you know, counter what Sky has brought, because, you know, Sky has shown us what they've brought with that aerial combo, and they are sticking with that composition. Let's see if GC Busan Blue has actually prepared, or if they are actually ready to counter this composition that Sky has brought.
Now, if GC Busan Blue has watched anything from the last series, they need to be careful for Shan Jaifu, along with Zhu Xiaoxun, on that Warlock Soul Fighter combo. That damage can be real. They need to be careful for that. So whether they have done better preparation, we'll be finding out in this Game 3. Let's get right under to it. GC Busan Blue versus Sky. Korea versus China is currently 1-1 even. See who gets the next 2 points. Stay on. We'll start off with a Warlock mirror match between the Korea and China. Yoon Jae-jung, GC Busan Blue, is going to be up against Shan Jaifu.
Oh, the first aerial goes to Yoon Jae-jung, doing some damage to Jaifu Chen.
Casually knocking off 50% health from Shan Jaifu. First strike of the game. Doesn't force out any escapes from Jaifu now.
But it does force out a defensive interfere.
Does it again. Now it's a Soul Fighter. We know that giant Soul Fighter we saw in the last series did a lot of scare towards his opponents and to us as well.
Daeun Choi coming in and destroying Jaifu Chen's familiar.
He's successful in getting that done. What this is going to follow, let's find out.
Alright, well, at least it just seems like you know, Sky isn't able to do what they want in the beginning of the game like they did last time.
It seems like Xiaoxun coming with that Soul Fighter interfere. Did heal up a little bit towards Jaifu. Jae-jung trying to go for the damage here. Does it again. Now he has to retreat out of there. Use that, probably the minimalist escape of the 3.
Slowly approaching. Jaifu Chen definitely wants that opening for that aerial combo, but
really?
Yoon Jae-jung is not giving that opportunity.
But definitely, I think Yoon Jae-jung is well aware of the combo that they are preparing.
One. Ground Ripple actually lands this time.
Okay, it's gonna be damage coming in from Xiaojun.
But Yoon Jae-jung is at full health.
Just blocks it with the paper. And the paper makes you invincible.
10 seconds.
Feel very good, but second wind has been used by Yoon Jae-jung, but it really doesn't matter when he's gonna free tag out. Along with Chen Zhaifu. Gonna see what this brings onto the play. Soul Fighter, the giant.
Yep.
Xiaojun.
Son right there, defensive reactionary 2v2.
Hey, the
wall bang, the Soul Fighter
coming up.
is
Soul Fighter
healing
cannot
and
be
tagging
knocked
out.
up. Yeah, so that was a very nice play by the Soul Fighter to heal up, just to make sure he doesn't get knocked off as he tries to tag him, which he does succeed in doing. That's probably the minimalist success for the side of Sky, because he lost so much HP.
Yep,
before
and
he did that.
Time distortion on both sides. Yoon Tae-sung gets his cooldowns back.
Yoon Tae-sung making his appearance for the first time in this series. Just seemed like he did a good job of making that wallbang count.
Definitely, and the tether blade knocking him down.
And you see the retreat happening with that back roll.
Oh, the
Fu
wall
getting
bang.
that wall
The
bang.
offensive interference comes in from
And that's
Dae-young
gonna be
Choi.
Dae-young Choi putting so much damage onto Sean Zhaifu. Now Zhaifu doesn't seem as comfortable as he was in game 2, where he did pick out the singles win.
Yeah, but Jaifu Chen, even though he is low on health, he can't tag out because his other two teammates are even lower than him.
That is very true, and Dae-young Choi comfortably tags in with so much health, unlike the teammates of Sky.
We're slowly making his move.
Just rotating around, trying to find an opening. Dae-young Choi, let's get him into the air. This might be the beginning. What we were talking about. It's gonna be a lot of damage coming in. It's gonna be Husong instead of Xiaojun.
Yeah.
Coming in with that double combo into the air.
Oh, Jaifu Chen taking a lot of damage right now. Very low on health.
Okay, gonna put a little bit of Frost Storm off the interfere. Now it's gonna tag over to Husong on that Blade Master. It's gonna be up against Yoon Jae-jung on the Warlock.
Yep. And Husong is out of second wind, so he's waiting for that 10 seconds. He might want to tag out if he gets... Oh.
Sean Zhaifu comes in for the time distortion interfere,
Oh,
but
Husong
it
is
might
in
be
the
enough
air, and
damage.
it's over for him.
When it's time distortion to get you into the death, it really doesn't matter now. Xiaojun, along with Zhaifu, is going to be the one to finish the game.
Oh,
The wall bang towards that giant
drag into the wall
Soul
bang.
Fighter, but Yoon Jae-jung even putting out damage. Just get out of there with the second win.
Wow.
Xiaojun, I mean, looks scary, but you get wall bang like that by the Destroyer. Really is a sitting duck, taking so much damage.
Yep. And now they are taking their time. Soul Fighter's healing up with that Chi Burst. And second wind, still 13 seconds left.
Imagine how the Soul Fighter is bigger than the Destroyer, of Yoon Tae-sung, so sizing-wise, doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a giant Soul Fighter, as we mentioned already in the previous series. Froststorm does get procced.
Backs away once again.
Okay, now Yoon Tae-sung going for the stun here, which he does get, but it's gonna be actually... Look at him trying to pummel the bigger guy. See, that's why the animation doesn't work out.
Yep, the knee was like in the ground.
I know, that's why it doesn't make sense that the Soul Fighter is a lot bigger.
Yeah, and the Soul Fighter is tall, so the leg sweep should be, the area should be longer.
He should fold his legs when he's getting pummeled like that. Do the manner thing like that.
That's why he's jumping to pull him out of the ground every time he goes
that's
in.
very nice of Yoon Tae-sung.
Yeah.
Make sure his leg doesn't stay
He
inside the
gets pulled
ground.
Soul Fighter, 10 seconds left. He
Heals back
heals
once again,
up.
yeah. Xiaojun not finding any openings for Yoon Tae-sung.
Right, he is trying right there. Oh, into the Windstorm combo.
Hey, this might be the beginning of that time. That interfere coming in, but doesn't have much time to continue on with that damage where he had to be force tagged out for Sean Zhaifu.
Jaifu Chen uses his second wind
Dae-young Choi.
with the Ice Mine.
Time distortion now to get the second win back, but he has to use it right away as soon as he gets back.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, especially against an assassin.
Just a little less than 4 minutes left in the game now. It's looking to be a win towards GC BUSAN Blue just because Husong one of the man for side of Sky has already been knocked out, and then the last tag point being used by Shun Zaifu.
Yeah.
They're just really relying on Xiaojun, putting the consistent damage while being able to stay healthy by healing up. Stay on the field as long as he can.
There we go with the
this
aerial.
Might be the beginning, but the iron plating is beautiful and is good enough to figure out all the damage that goes negated towards the side of GC Busan Blue. Taking the damage on the other end. Zhafu has no interfere to help him out. Xiaojun is all alone for the next 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Leech.
Seemed like the leech connected, but
Tagged out. Zhaifu Chen is out now without any tag points, so he has to last that 1 minute and 30 seconds. But everybody gets their interfere points back at that 3-minute mark that just has passed.
so that's all they're really counting on Sky, really. Get that aerial into the Soul Fighter Warlock damage potential. Uses the interfere right away though, so it's gonna deplete them of their chance to do that once again.
Same goes for Daeyoung Choi. He is at 0-0 on tag and interfere points.
It's gonna really rely on Yunta Son now with that 2 interfere points left available. See whether GC Busan Blue can get a critical strike to the side of Sky.
But to be honest, Yunta-san's interfere is all they need. If they get aerial, Yunta-san could just come in with the iron plating to negate all the damage that they have prepared.
And you're in this situation
There
where,
we go.
as long as you don't die, even the TKO could probably grant you the win right here. So Zhafu and Xiaojun on the side of Sky, they're on the rush here to get the KO, but I feel like GC Busan Blue are not in much of a rush.
Zhaifu Chen is done with that leech landing into the aerial.
Now Xiaojun, I mean, he's angry as he can be, but really, what are you gonna do? It's a Soul Fighter.
Yep. And it is the Soul Fighter in 2017, not in 2016, because, in 2016, the Soul Fighter, could have done more damage output before the nerf happened. But now, it's a little different from last year's Soul Fighter, unfortunately.
SF in 2017 lol is the phrase here.
Yep, and there we go with the iron plate to try to break that. And once again, the knee is being put into the ground.
Yes, he's a second win, but I feel like, I mean, he might last through the last 1 minute 15 seconds, but regardless, TKO will obviously go towards GC Busan Blue side.
Wall bang.
Will they finish him though?
Wall bang.
Wow, look at him, just in tramples. He just can't do anything, and just the Giant is being picked off one by one. Just another series of damage, and Daeyoung Choi coming with that poison breath into the bombard. Enough to finish off the Giants, and first tag game does go over to GC Busan Blue. Now they are up 3-1.
Yeah, well, very unfortunate. I gotta say, Sky did put up a fight. It's just, GC Busan Blue, like I said, seems like they have prepared and they knew what Sky was going to do, so they were trying to counter that aerial as much as possible, especially with Yunta-san's iron plating interfere, and that has actually granted Daeyoung Choi and Yoon Jae-jung a little comfort, even though they did get into an aerial a couple of times.
I mean, it did surprise their first ever opponents in this World Star 17. Maybe they were not aware of this combo that they had prepared, but GC Busan Blue, now they have seen it. If they are indeed a one-trick pony, Sky, with that Soul Fighter Warlock interaction, it'll be very, very disappointing because many teams now know how to counter this. Iron plating. I mean, if you have Force Master, you can just freeze your opponents, freeze your allies up, and what are you to do after that?
Yeah, well, we have to see because this is Sky's first time going up against a Korean team, and Korean team having a lot of experience and being able to adapt to their opponents, showed us a good game. Even though everybody was alive at the end on GC Busan Blue side, this was only the first tag match, so we still have 2 more singles coming up, and if it does get tied up, we do have 2 more tags coming up as well.
And we know that even if Sky does end up losing this matchup, we still have 1 more opportunity to go, because this is not definitely their last chance. They do have more chances. Make their run, still count for this World Star 17. Not really over yet. Even if this series does end to a close, Sky can still keep their momentum up. Hope for the best. Just come.
Yep. And I don't know, just seeing this big Soul Fighter getting wall banged, it just doesn't seem right. He's so big, and it just feels like a lot of I want to make the reference David versus Goliath.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah, if you guys know that, if you know what I'm talking about, like a small guy ended up beating a huge giant with just a rock, and just seeing the big Soul Fighter just keep getting wall banged by small dudes, at one after another. It just doesn't feel right. And now for our fourth set, we have Yunta-san's Destroyer, and finally we see the Soul Fighter out in this solo.
And we're gonna see Zusashin, that Soul Fighter. Call him the Giant, you call him the Goliath here. And Yunta-san on the Destroyer. Probably expected to be the Giant here, but he's the little guy that's holding a large axe, trying to defeat the Goliath in the Soul Fighter. But as long as you can, really just do all it takes. Zhao Jin really didn't have much chance against the Destroyer last time around, so Yunta-san will he be the victor once again in this single? We're gonna find out. This next match between GC Busan Blue and Sky. Stay on. And we will begin next single. It will be the beginning of the last series of singles for this match between GC Busan Blue and Sky. Su Xiaoxun, the Soul Fighter once again. I mean, the playstyle is definitely very different to what we see out of Shingen Kim from Korea.
Yep.
But that unique playstyle has earned them a victory, get them into this winner's match. So maybe they can extend that success over towards GC Busan Blue.
Yeah, Yunta-san is playing very carefully. No back row chase there. Typhoon.
Teleports all around the field. Very characteristic of a Soul Fighter. Yunta-san.
Big.
Yes, I'm telling you. I mean, it surprises me every time.
It's a very slow-paced game. Oh, he procs the persistence. Maybe he wants to go aggressive. There we go.
Okay, put a stun. Destroyer putting in the damage now with that wedge.
Okay, with the Ember Stomp right on top.
Now it's gonna be Xiaoxun trying to go for something here.
Barely doing any damage. He heals up. Strike.
Now we're gonna have to wait for that one opportunity
the ground ripple
for either side to make the damage here. Just a little damage onto the Destroyer.
They are trading damages now, and the Destroyer's out of both escapes right now.
Might be a chance for Zhao Jin to go in pretty aggressively, knowing that the Gust and the Persistence, they are very much unavailable to Yunta-san. I mean, maybe this is the way to beat out.
Oh, look at his health go up though. He's healing.
You're hitting the Soul Fighter for it to heal back up. So the logic makes sense right there.
Soul Fighter is doing a great job saving his escape. There we go, finally used.
That might be a chance for Yunta-san to go on the aggression here.
Yeah. Oh, it is basically over. No escape, and as long as Yunta-san gets that back row chase.
Okay, now he gets a stun.
Oh, basically done. Yeah, if he gets a stun,
will
no
be the
back row.
Judgment Cleave combo to finish us off. Yunta-san beats him once again. He beat him essentially in the tag with Zhao Jun. Previously in Game 3, not being able to do anything against the Destroyer of Yunta-san. Really, the same story happens again. GC Busan Blue taking another point, taking it to a 4-1 lead now for the Korean side.
Yeah, now because it is 4-1, not 4-0, we will definitely be going to set 6. Even if GC Busan Blue wins the next singles, it's still going to be 5-1, and you need 6 points to take the victory. So next match, as long as GC Busan Blue, Sky just wants to get the victory to cut off this momentum. But either way, they do not lose this set or this match, even if they do lose set 5.
So what you're saying is it is pretty much useless of what the next match brings to us, and you are definitely right. We know that this next single does not make any difference in the scoreline to the actual result, but it is all about the players having the right mindset to move forward with this, because that tag match, as you say, could decide it all in terms of Sky if they cannot take a victory in Game 6. So, Game 5 will be a warm-up. Damn, Choi bringing in the Soul Fighter. I'll show you what Soul Fighter is supposed to do, is what Damn Choi is saying. Zu Xiaoxun on the screen here. I wonder if they show him on camera what his expression is with Dae Choi deciding to bring out the Soul Fighter. He hasn't brought it out many times, even during Korea seasons.
Yeah, and last year, Dae Choi hated playing the Soul Fighter, but he did anyways for his team. He sacrificed his assassin to play the Soul Fighter, but he's bringing it out again.
But what against the best man to do it? It is going to be Shun Shai-fu. Really the key player in the side of Sky. We're trying to do that again, but with a Soul Fighter this time. He can lose out with an assassin.
Yeah.
Whether they can beat out this Blade Dancer with a Soul Fighter this time, we'll have to find out.
I am very curious now to see the second Soul Fighter coming out in this Worlds, and the music finally has changed. Soul Fighter versus Assassin. Let's get this match underway. Let's get it on.
Here we go.
And I made a mistake again. Sorry about that. No assassin, I meant Blade Dancer. I must be tired.
It is an assassination.
Yeah.
Blade Dancer is what
Yeah,
Shun Shai-fu
yeah.
plays. So we very much understand.
Assassinating Blade Dancer.
We understand where it came from. But
And he is assassinated once again.
here we go. To make it proof.
Yeah.
Make the word count here. But what do we expect? When do we expect Dae Choi would pull out the Soul Fighter?
Yeah,
In
the
Worlds
second
2017?
The second win actually does land on Jai-Fu Chen, but Dae Choi is unable to capitalize on that.
Dae Choi looks confused. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but he's just trying to figure out the class before he makes a move. Moves around a little bit. I'll see what this skill does. Oh, that makes the ice falls down from the sky.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I remember this Burning Thunder skill from last year.
Just never practiced for an entire year, now bringing it out for Worlds 2017 because it doesn't matter, as we mentioned.
Yeah, but you know, we never know. He might have missed the Soul Fighter, and seeing his opponent bring out the Soul Fighter, maybe he wanted to, get the feels of the Soul Fighter once again.
I reckon he just wants to have fun, and Dae Choi, we'll see what he does. Because, like you said, ending this match does not affect the actual results in terms of number lines.
That is the truth.
So, if Dae Choi, if thinking that in his head, I mean, we've seen him done this before. We saw Dae Choi on that Game 5 situation where it doesn't matter. We've seen him go with crazy picks before. Soul Fighter on Worlds 2017. It's probably one of those surprise picks that we didn't expect.
Second win again.
Shun Shai-fu definitely having a harder time taking out Soul Fighter with his mobility.
Jai-Fu Chen is having a brawl now that he knows the Soul Fighter doesn't have any escapes left.
Getting into the first aerial onto the second aerial, I would presume.
This is basically over.
Can't get him to another stun though. He does pull him in once again. Knocked down. He gets his own source of knockdown.
Okay.
Wow! Jai-Fu taking a lot of damage.
Dragon Fury.
Dae Choi. He's not joking around, guys.
Back roll chase happened.
Phantom grip though.
5 seconds for that lightning draw for Jai-Fu Chen. He might want to put him into the aerial just once.
Okay, now he's gonna go for the lightning draw.
Okay.
Surprising strike into the lightning flash. Will be good enough to finish him off, and no jokes for me, guys. As Shun Shai-fu says, towards Dae Choi, bring out the niche pick over the Soul Fighter with Dae Choi. Didn't turn to success this time around. Gonna go to Game 6, still in this exact same situation where GC BUSAN Blue wins one more game, they will take out the series. So it's up to Sky to win every single tag match with the 2 remaining to get the win here.
Yep, so 5-1. Like Joe said, Sky has to win all the tag matches left, which are 2 tag matches, but with the strategy that they have shown in the first tag in the 3rd set, they might have to switch it up a little bit, and instead of trying to go only for that Warlock Soul Fighter air combo, they might have to, bring out some different strategies and different ways of interfering, not only using it only for offensive uses, but also for defensive uses to save your teammate maybe and create different kinds of opportunity.
And to show us that they are not one-trick ponies and they do not have any other strategies than the Warlock Soul Fighter air combo. We would like to see a little more variety from Sky. and that will be the only way to do it because GC Busan Blue has them figured out in that specific combo. So encountering that damage, they already know what to do. So Sky probably have some other tricks up on their sleeves.
Yep.
Trying to bring out a winning formula against GC Busan Blue. They really have to, at least for the next 2 tag games to come.
Yeah, and if they do lose, they will just be going straight down to the losers bracket, and GC Busan Blue will, secure a spot in the semifinals if they win this tag.
There you go. We see the composition here. It is going to be no different for Sky. Going to keep with that Soul Fighter, Warlock, and Blade Master combo. And stick with the same combination for GC Busan Blue as well. The Assassin Warlock Destroyer now a familiarity for this side. It'll be exciting to really see whether Sky will bring out a new type of formula. Hopefully get them a win that they really desperately need to stay in this one.
Yep, and China Team Sky is going to give it their all because they do not want to be going to the losers bracket right when they started playing today, the first day.
That's true. I mean, being down on the first day of your participation in the World Championship might feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
GC Busan Red already made it to semifinals as the first seed to get in there, but we're going to see whether Sky can keep their hopes up and have their say in the semifinals. We're going to find out in this Game 6. Stay on. We're going to begin Game 6 between GC Busan Blue and Sky. Just seemed like last time around, just seemed like Sky was trying to force that air combo without going for anything else and ended up dying each one by one in their efforts to do that.
Interfere comes in.
And it's so big, I'm telling you. Every time I'm surprised.
Yeah. And that interfere coming in actually didn't do too much to Yoon Jae-jung. GC Busan Blue didn't need to get into a reactionary 2v2, so saving that one interfere point may backfire on Sky later in the game.
And it ended up dealing more damage towards Sky anyway, so Jae-jung, good job of fighting that 2v1. Brings out another interfere from Sky, this time from the Blade Master.
But this time they do react, and they are just forcing Jaifu Chen all the way into the corner.
Yeah, Daeyoung Choi dealing so much damage, whereas Xiao Jun trying to do the same. Doesn't work out. Stone is brought onto the field with that first tag point being used. Other side of GC Busan Blue.
Alright, it just seems like Sky.
Wonderful chase from Yuta-san. He read that timing perfectly. The song wants to get something going. Hasn't got much going really throughout this series.
That ram tags out. Daeyoung Choi comes out, gets chased actually.
I require a defensive interfere.
The
But Zhao Fu getting that good angle onto that damage, so he really can't be interfered. Even with that defensive efforts coming in from the blue side.
Well, if Hae-sung makes another aerial and offensive interfere comes in, that might do a lot of damage to Daeyoung Choi. Only having 70% left.
It's not the bombard with the ice mine now. He's gonna go back to that instead of the landmine.
Yep. Second wind is used at the end and tags out. Okay.
That would have just been a casual get out of. But it's gonna be now Xiao Jun trying to do the damage with his teammate. And force out a defensive interfere. The body swap coming from Daeyoung Choi. Uses him a little bit.
Both knocked back. Jaifu Chen and Xiao Jun tagging out.
Song here is not on the Blade Master, taking a lot of damage from that wallbang you saw with the Destroyer.
Alright, that was very good block of blades, knocked back into the aerial. Another aerial combo.
Will they finally get the aerial combo going? Gets him to another area.
So
nice!
much
Such
aerial.
well calculated from the side. That was perfectionist right there with the way they timed the aerial one by one. Wonderful play coming from Sky.
Basically a triple aerial right
Literally what happened there, yeah.
But Hae-sung is getting punished for it, and he is knocked out by Daeyoung Choi.
Again, Hae-sung is the first man to go out for the side of Sky, but this time it's a little bit different. Daeyoung Choi is on the slimmest of health, as we see on the scoreline.
Yep. And he did still come in for that offensive interference.
Oh, and that was a little bit risky play, but still paid off. Taking enough damage. Xiao Jun healing back. BUSAN. I mean, I would have to say this guy was the most solid performer for GC BUSAN Blue in this series.
Yep.
I mean, he has made very little mistake and has made very critical strikes towards his opponents, really leaving them to do anything. It's all about the destroyers for today. Sun Choi for the side of GC BUSAN Red doing so well. BUSAN also very successful today in his endeavor on the destroyer.
Yep, time distortion coming in. Daeyoung Choi healed up a little bit in that fog. Actually, more than a little bit. Yeah, he healed up a lot. He came in with basically 20% health, and now he's almost at like 70% health right now. You know, they are comfortable. He does have a tag point for both of them.
BUSAN really doesn't have that same option when Daeyoung Choi was a little bit low on health. He's back to almost full now, so to approach this a little bit differently, Jafu doesn't have any interferes that can come in with that Warlock utility, nor that air combo that they've always been expecting. Bombard into the Poison Breath, into the low shave here. Another Bombard coming through. Doing a lot of damage for Xiaojun.
Body swap. Oh, he tried to make that offensive move, but it did not work. 3 more seconds until Jaifu Chen is force tagged in. I think Daeyoung Choi is definitely gonna chase. Not
Let's
chase.
go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Shan Jaifu, low health, in a dangerous situation. Now Daeyoung Choi, comfortable, even with the interfere option coming in from Yuntae-san.
Yep.
Is available.
So he is playing it very slow and passive for some reason.
But Daeyoung Choi had to use his stealth to get out of there, so can't go in as aggressively, with only the Lotus of Escape being the other escape option here.
7 more seconds until Daeyoung Choi is force tagged out.
Shan Jaifu really wanted to make his presence known, but not much connecting.
He used that tether blade to get that back row chase, but he was you know, gonna be force tagged out. I don't know. He should have saved that tether blade for Yoon Jae-jung's chase.
Shan Jaifu taking a lot of damage now. Xiaojun coming in with the Soul Fighter, taking a lot of damage himself. BUSAN
doing a lot of damage to Yoon Jae-jung right now.
He is, but he has to be careful for his own health as well.
Yeah, tags out.
The last tag point, the last resource point, really, and that's going to be
Jaifu
no help coming in from his teammates. And Shan Jaifu is in a lot of trouble. Will it be enough damage to knock him out? Yuntae-san comes in for the last effort, and that is going to be enough damage to knock him out. And Xiaojun is going to be the last man standing once again. This is going to be a very difficult situation with near full health across the board for the side of GC BUSAN Blue. Looking unlikely that he's going to get the 1v3 here.
Yeah, and if Sky does lose here, they will be going up against Pengan D in the 3rd part of today's Blade and Soul quarterfinals.
Just a reminder, guys, this is the last match that we'll be playing before we take a break.
And
there secures our break, and really does.
Did you just say secures our break?
It does secure a break because they just finished the game off. GC BUSAN Blue giving us a very clean victory in the quickest of factions, and really all about Sky. They try to go for that greedy, a risky thing that worked out in the previous series with the aerial combo, with the Soul Fighter and the Warlock. Didn't connect once, I believe, throughout this series between GC BUSAN Blue. Now, Sky gonna be in that loser's bracket, have one more chance.
Yeah.
Now they're in this position where they might only play one day of Blade and Soul and be eliminated if they lose out the next match.
Yeah, against Pengan D, but you know, I want to be a little honest here, and you know, Jaifu Chen has been performing very well in singles and tag. It's just, I just feel that, you know, his teammate's skill level is still unmatched to be playing with Jaifu Chen, to support him to the fullest, to, you know, get his full potential out there in this tag match. Because, you know, in singles, yeah, Jaifu Chen is 3-0 right now. He is undefeated in singles, regardless of playing one of the best assassins like Daeyoung Choi or anybody who's coming in his way. Jaifu Chen has defeated everybody in 1v1s, but during tag, it just seems like his two teammates cannot support him to the fullest. And, you know, I just feel bad for Jaifu Chen because I know they're in the same team, and, you know, he is giving the orders to, you know, telling his teammates to come in or, you know, help out or not come in for the offensive or the defensive. But, you know, I just hope that, you know, during the short break, they can get their things together and maybe plan out a different kind of strategy. Just in case A doesn't work, they should have a plan B or a plan C.
Yes, because Shan Jai-fu, without having the support, it's like Dae Choi without Yoon Tae-jung and Yoon Tae-sun, who has performed spectacularly, especially Yoon Tae-sun on the destroyer. Basically immovable and untouchable was that man on that destroyer today. So a win does go over to GC Busan Blue, and they will be the second team already qualified for the semifinals. We'll see the other two teams. We're going to find out who the other team two will be after a pretty long break. We're going to go to a recap of what just happened in this part 2. Welcome back, everyone, to 2017 Blade and Soul World Championships. Still on the quarterfinal. We're on the later parts of it, definitely, and trying to close out a few matches to decide who our 4 teams in the semifinals will be. One of the team definitely has been confirmed to be GC Busan Red, to be the first team going on to semifinal. But we're going to find out the next team that is going to go up.
Yep, and for our second match and the last match of this second portion,
Welcome back, everyone, to 2017 Blade and Soul World Championships. Still on the quarterfinal. We're on the later parts of it, definitely, and trying to close out a few matches to decide who our 4 teams in the semifinals will be. One of the team definitely has been confirmed to be GC Busan Red, to be the first team going on to semifinal. But we're going to find out the next team that is going to go up.
Yep, and for our second match and the last match of this second portion, we have GC Busan Blue from Korea and Sky from China.
Both teams have been very, very impressive. GC Busan Blue, we already knew of what kind of skill level they were going to bring, but seeing Sky for the first time in this World 2017 just today, not really having to see